Hi there, my name is Neil and welcome to my channel. So this week we are at the Weathertech Raceway Laguna Seca. Today we are driving the Porsche 991.1 Generation 911 GT3 RS. First we are going to have a small race with 7 of the exact same cars with the AI set at 100% to try and find out what a fast competitive lap time looks like in this car on this track. Then we are going to go hot lapping, where we have a 10 lap solo session where we try and chase down the fastest lap that we got from the race and try and get consistent at it. Then we get to the breakdown where we discuss the technical stuff like every braking point, turn in, exit from the fastest lap that we managed in the hot lapping session. Right now, join you at the end of the race. Right, we are at the end of the race and looking at the sector times here, a 35.4 on my part, which is about 0.2 of a second slower than the fastest first sector. But I did get the first sector by quite some margin in the second sector. A huge margin in fact, about 1.2 seconds, which is a massive difference in one sector. Most of it I believe is down to turn 6 and the corkscrew, where I seem to be much faster than the AI cars here. Again, just eking out the purple sector in sector 3 by 0.3 of a seconds from 3 cars in fact which have done 27.4, which means I did get the fastest lap as well, 133.4. So that's our benchmark here, 133.440. In my experience, that is quite a tall order to try and chase down in a 10 lap session. We shall see. Let's go hot lapping. Right, starting the first lap. Now chasing down that 133.440 is a tall order, especially when you consider that the actual car, I mean the original car, the actual thing, did a 123.8 in this exact same track, and that was done on a sportier set of tires. You might say that those tires were semi-slicks, this is just a street compound, although quite a good one. So this should be about 1.5-2 seconds slower than that lap, right? Well, like I always say, driving a car in a simulator and driving that exact same car in real life is not the same thing. So that's probably where the anomaly in terms of lap times comes from. So a bit about the car first. So the 911 GT3 RS is the version of 911 from every generation, specifically tuned by the motorsports division of Porsche. They also have motorsport derived Cayman and the Cayenne SUV models now in their lineup, but the GT3 RS is the big daddy. So this car has a 4-liter naturally aspirated Boxer 6 that produces 500 horsepower and 460 Newton meters of torque. It weighs 1.4 tons, so roughly a little over 1.4 tons, and has a lot of motorsport derived suspension and aerodynamic changes from the regular 911. The 911 needs basically no introduction at this point. It's been over 50 years of Porsche perfecting the most unorthodox layout for a sports car, a rear engine. So 135.2 was our time in the first lap, or 134.9 in this one. The first lap is always going to be the slowest because the tires need a lap of time to warm up before they can provide extreme grip. So yeah, a 134.9 is not the best lap time, not the kind of time we are looking for. So this generation of GT3 RS was the most controversial of the lot actually, because it lost the hydraulic power steering in favor of an electronic unit. It was also the first generation of GT3 RS that was only offered as an automatic, So there was no manual option, although they did bring it back later in its life cycle. Also, this was the first 911 after they retired the Metzger engine, so this had an all-new engine. It had a few initial problems, although Porsche did sort those things out later in its life by some recall and change of parts, all that technical stuff. $134.282, yeah. We're already as fast as the best of the AI cars could manage. 123.4 though, that's a whole new ballpark. Let's keep going. Anyway, I was talking about the controversies concerning this car. What this car also got for the first time was 4-wheel steering. That's right, so the rear wheels, they also turn when you steer the car to a certain degree. At lower speeds they turn in the opposite direction as the front wheels to give you a tighter turning radius, but at high speeds they turn in the same direction as the front wheels to give you better high speed stability. And it's these tiny details, tiny additions that makes the GT3 and the GT3 RS of any generation of 911 the one car to have. .123.132. That's great. Massively quick time. Right, that's enough. Let's go look at the times. So, looking at the times here, by the way, did I mention it was a 10-lap session? Look, I couldn't stop driving the car, okay? It really is that good. That 9000 RPM and that PDK gearbox, it's addictive. Anyway, so the time we were looking for was 133.440 and we did manage a 133.132. So that was the fastest time. And look at the leaderboard, it's a quite wide spread of time here. Apart from that lap 8 where I had a moment at turn 6. Where I basically missed the banked section of the curb, but I was going at the same speed as I would when I go hit the bank section, so I went straight out of the track, and yeah, it was a moment. Anyway, look at the rest of the times though. A coincidence, lap 6 and 7 were exactly the same time at 134.052. Apart from lap 2 and lap 5, I would say the other lap times were either the same level or a bit faster than what the AI cars were managing during the race. So yeah, they are still competitive. Let's get to the breakdown then. Joining you at the main straight as we go across the line to start the lap. Flat out through turn 1, upcoming is turn 2 and ready hairpin. Look out where the curbs on the right side end and hit the brakes right there. Slowly lift off the brakes as you enter and feed in a little bit of throttle to maintain the speed. The engine is at the back, so you don't need to accelerate early. This car is all about exit traction. Next up, turn 3. Here you want to hit the brakes right at marker 2 and turn in, just kissing the curbs on the apex without hitting the sausage curb like I just did. Next up is turn 3. Give it a dab of brakes just as the marker 2 goes outside your field of vision. Release your brakes as you enter the corner and gently start accelerating as you float the throttle on the exit. Coming up is turn 5. Here you want to hit your brakes just in the middle of marker 3 and marker 2. Take in the bank section on the apex and use it to slingshot you out of the corner as you race towards turn 6. My favorite corner of the track. Give it a dab of brakes just before you hit marker 2 and release the brakes gently as you point your car towards the apex. Give it the full beans on the exit. Coming up, turn 7, just a braking zone for turn 8 and 8A, the legendary corkscrew. Brake just before the curve start and release the brakes as you enter the tight left-hander. Once you go past the left-hander, feed in the throttle and let the rear engine design sort out the traction for you. Next up is turn 9. Give it a dab of brakes before you enter. There can be a lot of possible lines here. I am taking a title line. Gently start accelerating just before the curb start. Turn 10, hit your brakes just before marker 2. Just give it a dab, not full pressure. Point your car towards the banked section at the apex and start accelerating as you race towards the final corner. Turn 11. This is a slow corner followed by the main straight, so you want a slow entry and a fast exit. Brake right in between marker 3 and marker 2 and release the brakes as you enter the corner. Be patient with the throttle here and feed it gently as you come out of the corner, racing down the main straight, engine screaming at 9000 rpm as we go across the line in 133.132. So that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts. What time did you manage on the sim down in the comment box below. While you're down there, hit your favorite buttons, the like, share, subscribe and the bell notification icon, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, drive hard, drive safe, take care.